Hey everybody, this is Greg, and that's Mark of Sigmar and Son, and we're just doing a quick episode tonight. Not really even an episode, just a quick reaction to the announcement this week. We're super pumped about the Skaven and the Flesh Eater Core battle,
Mostly the Skaven.
especially the Skaven Flesh Eater stuff. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, we're super pumped about the announcement of these two new Battletomes, and just wanted to get some quick reaction from us. I know our last episode was about Skaven, and kind of interesting. I think Mark might have hit some of the nails on the head with what was coming up. And so, Mark, why don't you go ahead and tell us what they announced for the Skaven?
All right, I will. I'll just share my screen. It might be easier that way. So if we go on to, all right, you're presenting to me. Cool. So yeah, we got basically we got this yesterday. I think I woke up to this news. You texted me, Dad, and I was like, what? So I obviously had to run in here. And this kind of shows us we already knew that we were getting all this for the Carrion Empire. Looks like if you get the Carrion Empire, you're getting some rules and stuff.
Interesting, you got a some counters there too.
Yeah, it looks like some counters and whatnot. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we're actually excited about. Boom. We're getting an. I hear the dog barking. Lovely. We're getting an actual Battletome. We had said that this is like one of the things that Skaven need to be more competitive. And along with kind of the GW formula, along with a new Battletome comes terrain and endless spells. And I think this is what you were mentioning that I got right with the terrain, because I mentioned in our last episode, if you go back, I mentioned that I thought they were going to get like some ability to tunnel up and stuff. And if you read here, it says getting new scenery, in this case a tunnel network of gnawholes. So it seems like they're going to have that ability to be able to tunnel up. I don't know the exact rules, but they're going to have the ability to tunnel up and be within 9 inches of an enemy or something like that.
And highlight some of the things they're talking about there.
What were you saying?
Go up and highlight look at what they talk about the Battletome.
Oh yeah, so in the Battletome we've got this. It's kind of solidifying the Skaven races into one cohesive faction. More right now they're
tied.
Yeah, they're four separates, and I think right now we're going to get into a more coherent force you'll be able to build. And if you read on, it actually says you'll be able to feel them as a single coherent deadly force. So each of the clans has its own allegiance abilities representing their tactics, but you'll be able to. It sounds like there's no allying with each other anymore. It's just Skaven. It sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see. I think that there'll be some restrictions, so it's not just all Skaven.
I think there'll be restrictions as well, but much less.
Army. So anyway, but the point is that or maybe things that didn't work before, they're going to have keywords fixed to where things will work in the other. One force will work. Like a clan Eshin might work in a clan Scryer.
Right, yeah.
The keywords will match. And kind of to go along with this today, we saw that from the GW web shop, they removed the clan rats.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be getting a repacking circle bases.
The clan rats and circle bases, which probably means everybody. And I think it even said here, didn't it say that clan rats are going to be available for everybody?
I don't believe so, no.
Going on down.
No, doesn't say that.
Okay.
That would just be what I think
makes sense.
Makes sense, obviously. So you want to take a look at the endless spells, I guess, now?
Yep.
So they didn't give us any rules or anything about the terrain or endless spells, but I don't know. Do you want to make a quick prediction type thing?
Obviously the one's kind of bell-like with lightning. And
Yeah.
these other three look like some sort of lightning storm.
Warpstone. I think it'll be like a Warpstone effect.
Yeah.
And then it looks like you have like a relentless rat type of like
A rat
horde, like a rat horde attack. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I basically going to guess that this one is sort of a rat horde attack, and this one here is going to be an effect that's going to be around, maybe slows movement.
I think the bell will be a debuff buff situation. The warp lightning storm thing right here will be a straight up damage situation, and this will be like a, I don't know what they're going to be a damage situation with the horde of rats thing.
This guy here, I think the storms are going to be more of a like a shackles and stuff, where it's going to affect people around them.
Yeah, something like that.
Anybody within them is going to, anybody, whether friendly or not, are going to get attacked by them or something.
Yeah. And then we can take a look at this. We're getting some nice cards.
You like how they went Chinese, so you couldn't figure out what they were saying there?
Well, I think it's Japanese, but yeah.
Japanese, whatever. They went some non-English language that nobody.
Yes. Well.
Yeah, so we can't.
Yeah, but it is nice. We're gonna have the War Scroll cards and everything that everyone's getting. You know, those are nice to have.
Hey, go ahead and take a quick look at the Battletome again, and zoom in on that. Yeah, that's good. So basically, I was going to say this guy's Gray Seer, right? Riding the bell.
Yeah, he is riding the bell. You can even see the bell behind him, like the thing he's on and behind him. That is my favorite model, and I pray to the Great Horned Rat.
Yeah, I think
he is redone appropriately.
The fact that it's so prominent, I think, is a good hope for you.
Yes, I want more summoning with rats. I think it would be great.
So we haven't heard about prices with the set, but you were saying the Skaven stuff that's in there that you priced out.
Yeah. So if you price it all out, it's about $120.
Just $100 for sure.
Yeah, for sure. The Storm Fiends are $60 a pop for a box of 3. Doom Wheel, what is that, 30, 40? And this Warp Lightning Cannon, I think, is 30. So I think you're 100 at least, 120 probably max.
Doom Wheel's 33.
Yeah, the Warp Lightning Cannon's gonna be 30 then as well.
It's also 33.
So yeah, and then these are 60. So I mean, you're at around $120 just for that.
Without the leader. Actually, one thing
without the leader.
Without the leader is are they going to make him available as a separate model?
Nope.
It'd be kind of interesting.
Nope, they didn't. They won't do that. They haven't done that with other stuff. I don't expect them to do it now, sadly. The what's it called? Coregrath was the same way. You had to buy the thing to get the Coregraths.
What's the same way, but they did eventually come out with the Nurgle guy.
Oh, Horticulus Slimix, yeah, sure.
So
who knows? Let's go to the Carrion Empire.
Oh, and you got some. Now, these dice are actually like the most readable dice they've come out with.
I was about to say, and you got some actual usable dice. So, all right. And then here we have the Flesh Eater Quartz Battletome.
Right.
Me and my dad personally, I don't think we know near as much about the Flesh Eater Quartz as Skaven. At least me. I don't know. You wanna talk about this stuff, Dad?
Yeah, I can talk about it here. Basically the one thing that jumped out at me is you get to take Royal Zombie Dragons as a battle line.
That is sweet.
So it's like, you want to talk about a low model count army?
Yeah, for that, yeah. I think they might have done that because the only way to play these guys originally was hordes, and I think they want to give people, options, right? I mean, they don't want everything. It's like, oh, I like the look of this army, but you have to run hordes for it to be effective.
Yeah, they basically did talk on their podcast. One of their designers was on talking about there's 3 ways to play, 3 types of players, you know, and we want to make sure that every battle tome that they write goes to each of those 3 players, has at least
right. And what are those 3 types? Horde, not horde, and a mixture.
Yeah, and competitive and not.
Oh, sure.
And,
yeah, but I think that's great. That, I mean, it just allows you to.
So you got new models on the way. They also get a terrain piece.
Yeah, this is their terrain piece. I'll be honest, I don't think it looks that good.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm going to guess they call it a throne. It's going to be one of those that's going to give you. I'm
going to guess it has to do with command points, is my guess.
Ooh, that's a good guess. I was going to guess it has to do with summoning things or something, but you know they're not really summoned. I was looking earlier. The models, at least now, are not summonable, so that'll be interesting.
Sure. It's like with me, throne represents leadership. Leadership and command abilities kind of go hand in hand, so that's kind of like where I got that.
Maybe one of those when you use a command point within 12 inches, maybe roll to see if you don't use it or something.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. I'm not sure what it is. I just know aesthetically, I'm not.
It's actually a throne. Somebody can sit on it.
Yeah. Well,
so they have like
got some sweet conversion opportunities for you.
If you sit on it, then yeah. I kind of like the piece below it just as a terrain piece.
Yeah, I do too. It's definitely the same Baleful Realm Gates steps that they have been using.
Cut and paste.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what they can do in what ZCAD it's called.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the spells. The spells are a little bit cooler, definitely. You got this like bloody, deathly chalice.
Right. There are horses coming out of the ground.
Yeah, like a stampeding horse is gonna. I'm gonna guess that's like
the zombie horses, and essentially a wall.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I may just be partial to Skaven, but I don't think that this stuff looks near as cool as what Skaven got.
Yeah, now everybody on the interwebs is talking about them trolling them, I guess, that this is like
Bretonnia stuff.
Bretonians.
Wow.
So, with the chalice and then these little fleur-de-lis markings down here on the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
And the horses are the knights' horses. I think that's kind of far-fetched, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, I just think it's the
happenstance. One's a wall, one's an attack spell, and one's a buff spell. I mean, that's all we know right now.
Yeah, I would guess the chalice is a buff spell. One is an attack spell, which I think will be the stamping horses, and the wall will be a defensive thing.
Right.
All right. You want to go over to what we got today?
Yeah. Today they announced a little more, and it sounds like they're going to be announcing this stuff
as the week kind of goes on.
Well, we just couldn't contain our excitement to wait till the weekend to talk about this stuff.
Yes.
So first up is the Skaven Warlock Bombardier.
Yep.
And these guys have dedicated their lives to blowing stuff up.
Schnikey up, yes.
And so
so we get a sneak peek at what the Doom Rocket does, and we have a new ruling or new way to write Warp Lightning, which unfortunately turns out to be a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, I think it's pretty significant nerf, and so let's go into that different. Maybe.
Yeah, so the way this Warp Lightning reads right now is it has a casting value of 5. If successfully cast, pick one enemy unit within 12 inches of the caster. That unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Before you make the casting roll, you can say you're gonna power it up, and if you do so, if the casting attempt is successful and not unbound, this is the key part: successful and not unbound, you inflict D6 mortal wounds instead of D3. However, if you do so and the casting attempt fails or is unbound, this model suffers D6 mortal wounds. So the old written way of this this rule was if if you do so and the casting temp is successful, period.
Right. So it didn't have if it was unbound. So now if it's unbound, you take a D6 mortal wound. Before,
Yeah, and yep.
if it was unbound, it just didn't. Nothing happened. No.
Yeah, and as we know,
yeah, there's so many.
Unbinding has gotten better. I mean, the range is increased. Just unbinding is just better. Like,
right. It's almost impossible to. I mean, who knows? But
I rarely see myself unless like it's a dire situation. I rarely see myself ever powering this up. It's basically just another arcane bolt.
well, maybe it depends if they've unbound.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
if they're out of unbounds, so that's the only
sure, yeah. But I mean, yeah, so you're definitely have to sequence your spells a little differently and stuff with this. But it just definitely is. It is a nerf. It's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe they were thinking with the battle tome they're getting, maybe they were like, oh, their range is going to be too good. They wanted to scale it back a little. Obviously, they did this for a reason. The playtesters and or the team thought it was too good, or maybe it was that's how they intended in the beginning. And when they first originally adapted it over, they just, let's be honest, they just weren't as good at writing the rules.
Right.
In a language that is, so maybe this is what they wanted ever since the beginning, but I feel like that would have been switched in an FAQ. We're not going to get into it. It's a nerf. It is what it is.
All right. Go ahead and talk about the
So here we have the Doom Rocket in Skaven Scryer fashion. If you roll a 1, you'll blow yourself up. Otherwise, it's got a benefit. So it's a 18-inch range, 1 attack, 4 to hit, 3 to wound, Ren -1, D6 damage. However, you can overload it. And here it is, more Doom Rocket. You can overload it. And when you overload it, you do 2 D6 damage instead of a D6. However, if the unmodified hit roll is a 1, you suffer 2 D6 mortal wounds, which basically means you just you die, you're dead. I mean, the guy's got 5 wounds, I think. I mean, other Warlock engineers have 5 wounds, so
right.
You're you done blowed up. But I could see overloading the. I mean, I think you're gonna overload this, 90% of the time. And 2d6 mortal wounds. I mean that. I mean, you could realistically, it gives you like an ability to just snipe huge thing. Like, I mean, 7 mortal wounds on average is a lot of damage.
Like, yeah, all these little 5-point heroes and stuff, you're just going to be blowing them up.
Yeah.
Like Nighthaunt.
And let's talk about when you so the unmodified, so if you don't do more Doom Rocket, it does D6 wounds. If you power it up, it does 2d6 mortal wounds. I mean, it's a lot different, Like, you don't even give them the ability to save at that point. You're just.
I think it's a D6 mortal wounds.
No, it's not. Ren -1. Why would it be mortal wounds?
Actually, you're reading it wrong. The damage is 2d6 at Ren -1. If you fail, you take a 2d6 mortal wound.
Oh, that's different. So I lied.
Yeah,
well, I didn't lie, but I was reading this.
You were thinking it was much better than it was.
Yeah, I still think 90% of the time, it basically solidifies your death if you roll a 1. I still think 90% of the time you'll probably be overloading it.
Right.
I mean, 2d6 is a lot of damage. 7 wounds.
Yep.
And then down here it says, essentially his little war machine in his own right, and the perfect supporting unit for a firing line of warp lightning cannons, which makes me think maybe he's got another ability that helps with like warp lightning cannons. Maybe you can re-roll the power die or something like that. Not sure, but
can you make screen bigger? Control plus.
Yeah, I can. That better?
Yes. Sorry,
guys, he's blind.
Also, it takes up the whole screen instead of.
I'm just kidding. All right. So that's kind of it for that guy. I mean, I think we'll see some more abilities tomorrow and as the week goes on.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ghoul King.
Yep. So here's the Ghoul King. Great model, by the way.
Yeah, we really like the look of the model on the thing there.
The little pillar.
Yeah.
So you wanna take care of this part, Dad?
Yeah, they say he's an ultimate support unit. I'm not sure what that means.
I think it has to do with
Giant,
his broken spell.
yeah, thanks to a superb spell and command ability. Scrolling down, you can basically, this is a spell that's a command casting value of 6, and it's successful. It's pick a friendly flesh eater court unit. I'm glad they put that on there instead of just other ones, because death or something. Within 24 inches of the caster, invisible to them, and roll a d3 and add the roll to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by that unit until your next hero phase. So basically, you could have a unit that's got 1, and all of a sudden now he's got 4 attacks.
Yeah, and it's all melee weapons.
It's all melee weapon. Yeah.
Of melee weapons.
Right, and so it's not only that. It's so you know, this is like your for your horde, right? So your ghouls or whatever are gonna be pumped with this.
Yeah, I mean, just the ability, like if you spike a 3 on like just like 1 to 4 is insane. Like it increases your damage output by so much.
But odds are you're getting 2 or 3.
Yeah, odds are you're getting 2. You know, just averages you're gonna get 2 extra attacks, which is still a lot.
And so they basically start with the crypt ghouls, just to let you know, are 2 attacks, 4 up, 4 up. I don't know if they're changing them.
No rend.
No rend. And if there's more than 20 more models, you get an additional attack. So now if you got a unit of 30 of these guys, there's 3 attacks, 4 up, 4 up. You could potentially be having 6 attacks each, or whatever, 180 attacks.
Yeah, and I think that so also
practice rolling dice.
The crypt flayers and crypt horrors are the like bigger versions, and I think it'll just, you might be doing these on those guys. I mean, because I think they're 3s and 4s, rend -1.
Yeah, guys with rend and stuff, you could do it on.
Yeah.
So, so then also they talk about a command ability. It's unique. Offers you'll be able to pick a supporting courtier or a unit of knights or a horde of serfs to suit your purposes.
It's kind of vague. I'm not really sure what that means.
What it does though.
So, yeah.
So anyway, that's it. We're totally excited and stoked for this. To find out more.
Yeah.
We were excited to hear that the Skaven, as we mentioned in our episode last week, we were totally looking forward to a Skaven combined Battletome. And so it looks like we might have it here, or we know we have it. I guess pre-order is available Saturday. We probably have a lot of rules out by then.
Yep. And it sounds like I don't know if rumored price is £95 for the box, it sounds like.
I heard something like that.
So you're looking around probably $130 US.
It'd probably be the 150 that everything else is.
I could see that.
Guessing. You know, there are other starter boxes.
Yeah.
So, and then this, well, what was the one that was the Slaanesh one that just came out? I would expect it to be the same price as that.
Yeah, something in Rapture.
Yeah.
Wrath and Rapture, I think.
Yep. Wrath and Rapture was $160, and I'm kind of would expect it to be around that.
Yeah, I think it'll be similar pricing as that.
So,
but I think that's all we have for you today.
That's it for now. We will talk to you next time, and we'll have more news and information about tournaments and everything else. So do us a favor, hit the like, subscribe,
share.
We'll be on our channel, and you guys can follow us as we go on this Skaven brigade of March, I guess, right? So
Skaven skittering.
Skaven skittering. All right, that's it for now. Bye-bye.
See ya.